Mhm.
I'm asking, what are your fundamental problems with the religion itself?
Oh, you want to talk about like Christianity? Is
Well,
that?
if you have a problem with Christianity, yeah.
I mean, I'm not really too. To be fair, I'm not. I don't think I'm too interested. I don't think I can get too into a deep theological talk.
Well, I'm not
Oh
really.
yeah, now he's getting nervous. He's literally hyperventilating because Andrew Wilson's about to take him into the deep water, man. He's like, well, you obviously have a problem with Christianity, and you think that Christian-run societies would cease to exist because they'd be so awful. So let's talk about what is your exact problem with Christianity. He literally starts hyperventilating. Andrew Wilson, who is turning into one of my favorite debaters on the internet, took on Hunter Avalon, a woke soy boy who was trying to say that white evangelicals and let's be real, guys. He's just saying that straight white men are just bad for society and bad for America. And Andrew Wilson took Hunter Avalon on here and absolutely destroyed him. It wasn't just a civil conversation at all. This was a heated debate that turned into an absolute just demolishment of Hunter Avalon and everything that he stands for. Let's get into this clip here where Andrew Wilson goes on Hunter Avalon's own show and absolutely demolishes him on multiple different topics. I can't stand these woke idiots, and shout out to Andrew Wilson for being willing to put up with them and destroy their just ridiculous talking points.
Exercise. We don't need to. We don't need to do it. It's not important. I'm just explaining to you, from my standpoint, the biggest weakness that you have, and it's going forward, it's going to be a bad one for you, is if you cannot decide on what the ethics are from which you derive your argumentation. As you start to slug it out with some of these heavy hitters, they're going to absolutely come in and eat your heart. And the reason is, you can't really have a good faith or legitimate conversation with somebody unless you know why it is in the foundation.
I can tell you why I'm against, but I can tell you why I'm against what you're saying.
Well, not against a specific thing, but if I ask you why a thing is bad, for instance, if I said, why is smoking bad? You'd say, well, because it's going to kill you. And I'd say, okay, why is me killing myself with smoking bad?
Uh-huh.
Well, why is it? Why is killing myself with smoking bad?
Because most likely you don't want to die.
Well, okay.
If you do, then it's probably not bad to you, right?
So
but like
you only think
in
that
your
it's
case,
bad.
no, but in your case, it's from, or I'm sorry, not in your case necessarily, but from the quote unquote conservative perspective or whatever, it is, we don't want to incentivize gay people. So let's think of this, how this is. There are kids in orphanages, and conservatives historically and still currently are oftentimes the ones trying to prevent gay people from adopting children, even though there are kids in orphanages that literally need parents. So there's that, which would, yes, that's discrimination. So that would have to be perpetuated. And why are we doing this? All because if all of society was hypothetically gay, it would cease to function. Again, I would say if all of society was religious, it would probably cease to function, considering, again, the statistical rates of abuse in church circles and different kind of rates also showing how Christians are more likely to put their faith over actual scientific research as well. So I think that you can make a compelling argument there too.
There are societies right now that are 100% religious and function just fine.
And there are societies that are 100% atheist and function just fine too, is my knowledge.
Well, sure, but I'm not, that wasn't my argument. It had nothing to do with my argument. One of your arguments was to say to me, listen, if everybody was religious, right, that would also be bad. But we have societies we can look at right now where everybody's religious. It's not bad.
What religion?
Muslim, for instance.
Okay, cool. That's very progressive of you. I'm actually surprised. But
there's entire well, the diametric opposition between Christianity.
I should rephrase then. Yes, I should say like fundamentalist Christians. Let me rephrase. I will rephrase that because that's my.
It's so crazy how we've gotten to a point in society now where these people have been forced, like these people like Hunter Avalon, who's debating Andrew Wilson here. This is not his actual stance on this. Nobody, if Hunter Avalon was just not involved in politics, not involved in these discussions, and it wasn't always such a right versus left issue, this would not be his stance. And what I mean by that is we've now gotten to the point in society where people like Hunter Avalon are forced to debate people like Andrew Wilson, and they just have to come up with something to disagree on. So they're just forced to say things like, an entire Christian society would cease to exist if it happened. What are you talking about, dude? Like, if that sounds like, and when I say that I wish that the entire country was run by Christians only, and I've said this in past videos before, that I think if we had everybody, even if you're not actually a Christian, right? Even if you don't pray to Jesus Christ, even if you just follow the law of the Bible, we would have an entirely better society than we have currently. If everybody actually followed the law of the Bible, it would be a perfect society. It would. Nobody would be killing, nobody would be stealing, nobody would be committing adultery. Everybody would have the same, moral compass. It would be great. And I don't know how you can disagree with that. I'm sure you guys are going to get mad at me for saying that in the comments, but it's the truth. And in my mind, at least, it completely logically checks out. And I'm open to hearing the other side of that. But it's wild to me that we've gotten to the point now where Hunter Avalon is now saying, no, we need less Christians. We need less religious people. We need more atheists, because atheists who have no moral compass whatsoever, they just do whatever they feel is right in any given circumstance. And that's just the right thing to do to them. No matter what it is, they just decide, hey, this is what I feel like doing, so this is what I'm going to do. And that's just right. That's what atheists believe. And Hunter Avalon is forced into the position of that is the correct way to live life, which is absolutely insane to me, because if he wasn't involved in this culture war, if he wasn't involved in this right versus left, it would be no competition on which society would be better to live in. Like, let's be real. Would it be better to live in a society full of people who follow the Christian rule of law? Or would it be better to live in a society of people who are atheists and follow no moral compass or no rule of law? Which one? It's very obvious which one it would be.
Much more where we see a lot of these issues. So let me be clear, not religious circles, but yes, fundamentalists like Christians, evangelical Christians, that kind of level. Yes, I do think that would also perpetuate harm, or would also lead to society or not functioning nearly as well or whatnot.
Well, society functions fine under Sharia law.
So I'm talking about fundamental Christianity. I'm not here to defend Islam. I'm not a big fan of. I don't like religion in general. So I'm happy to shit on Islam. I'm happy to shit on Christianity. But
what's your problem with fundamental Christians?
Well, hold on. I don't want. Again, it's because of the rates of discrimination and the harm that they perpetuate. So, even if you look at the rates, actually, American Muslims are more accepting of gay people, for example, than evangelical white Christians, and that does harm. That hurts people. That discriminates against not only gay people, but again, we've already established that by preventing them from adopting, you're also harming children. You're literally harming the children that are in orphanages right now suffering.
Hunter, you're creating arguments against something I'm not talking about.
I'm not. I'm explaining how white evangelicals are making
very
more
closely
harm
to what I'm saying. What's the problem with fundamental Christianity in your worldview? That they cause harm to homosexuals because they're not accepting?
That they cause harm to, yes, in general, to society. Yes, they cause harm in various different ways. So one, yes, they discriminate against gay people at higher rates. I don't like that. That does harm.
Much higher rates. Much higher rates.
And it's discriminatory, and so I'm against that. I don't like that because, again, it perpetuates harm and it hurts kids in orphanages, etc., etc.
But atheists discriminate against Christians. So does that not harm people? Is that not discrimination? This guy is just so soft, man. All of these people who are, I don't know if they're paid off by the DNC or what it is, but all of these new age debaters who are the Harry Sisson and Dean Withers and Hunter Avalon and these people, they all have the same archetype. They're just soy boys that are just insufferable to listen to. Like I said earlier, shout out to Andrew Wilson for being willing to put up with these people. There is no chance that I'm staying this calm talking to somebody who acts like this. It's insufferable. It is.
We've kind of already established this. Also, white evangelical Christians are more likely to deny things like climate change, something that I think is very important that we kind of all need to find unity on. It's really important for the future moving forward here. White evangelical Christians are against that. That's another thing. Another reason, there are statistics showing that oftentimes hyper-religious individuals are more likely to put their faith over scientific evidence. Anti-intellectualism has already cost us with COVID, with how we've seen the conspiratorial bullshit, the anti-vaxxers and whatnot. So yes, there is a multitude of harm that white evangelicals perpetuate on this country, or could, hypothetically. So I think that your argument would be completely doomed. It would have to.
So now answer me this, now that we have established this. Is the happiness level in people who are Christians higher or lower than the average population in the United States?
So I'm going to answer this.
No, just yes or no. Is it higher or lower?
I'm not going to answer it unless I can elaborate, because the answer it needs an elaboration there.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
So, yes, absolutely. Yep. You're right. people in religious circles do have happier or higher
So
rates
doesn't
of
it do
happiness.
them harm if you were to
So-
take that away from them?
Sure. Yes. So here's
So
the
now
thing.
we're
is-
talking
hold
about
on.
which-
wait.
which is more
Hold
harm.
on. Wait. Because it's not the religious aspect of it, but rather the community aspect of it. So if you were to gauge like a group of people that say every like Saturday they went to some like big community event with like community picnic and then went bowling or whatnot, you would find higher rates of happiness in those people as well. Having a structured community is what gives you that higher level of happiness. And again, I'm not shitting on all of religion. My parents are very religious. I respect them for that. And that's because I recognize that for them, it is a form of community. And that's important for
What
people.
I'm trying to get to the heart of here is that it seems like your issues are secondary to the religion. You're saying this is how religious people behave in this political sense that I disagree with.
Mhm.
I'm asking, what are your fundamental problems with the religion itself?
Oh, you want to talk about like Christianity?
Well, if you have a problem with Christianity, yeah.
I mean, I'm not really to be fair, I don't think I'm too interested. I don't think I can get too into a deep theological talk.
Well, I'm not
Oh
really.
yeah, now he's getting nervous. He's literally hyperventilating because Andrew Wilson's about to take him into the deep water, man. He's like, well, you obviously have a problem with Christianity, and you think that Christian-run societies would cease to exist because they'd be so awful. So let's talk about what is your exact problem with Christianity. He literally starts hyperventilating because he knows he cannot hold up in a debate. Hunter Avallone can't hold up in a debate with Andrew Wilson whenever you're talking about actual theology. If you're debating on Christianity versus any other way of running society, you're going to lose to Andrew Wilson. You're going to lose. And he knows that. That's why he's literally hyperventilating right there.
Really trying to get into a deep theological talk. What I'm trying to discuss here is
No,
motivation.
I'll dial it back here. Get personal for a second. I have admitted this multiple times on stream. I have a little bit of like resentment with how religion was taught to me personally. So I try to steer clear of like the deep theological debates about Christianity. My general summary, if you don't mind, really quick, and I'll hand it over
Sure.
to you, is just that yes, people who have a sense of community, whether that be a secular sense of community or a religious circle and sense of community, is absolutely beneficial and has been proven to be such. I'm not advocating to take any of that away. I'm fine with people going to church.
Imagine, like, look, I think a lot of people have a bad experience with religion, whatever religion it might be, whenever they're growing up. You know, if it's forced on you, you're not going to like it. But imagine knowing that's the reason why you don't like the religion, and then you're still keeping that, like you're still holding that inside of you and letting that keep you away from Christianity completely, at least exploring, at least exploring Christianity and see if you have a connection with it outside of it being forced on you. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And it's not just about community with Christians. It's not just about community with any sort of religion. The reason why, the argument being that Hunter Avallone is trying to tell Andrew Wilson that a secular society, an atheist society, would be better than a fully Christian-run society. It's not because of a sense of community or any other of that nonsense. I mean, obviously, community does play a part, but it's more about just having a moral compass, having a reason to do and to not do certain things that are good and bad for you. Secular people, atheists, don't have any moral pathway to follow. They don't have it. It doesn't exist. They just do whatever they feel like in the moment, and they have no like regret. They feel no punishment for it. So that doesn't check out. It's not just about the community. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think about Andrew Wilson absolutely cooking this woke soy boy on multiple different issues here. Literally, Hunter Avallone got so nervous that he started hyperventilating on the microphone whenever Andrew Wilson tried to take him into the deep water. I think Andrew Wilson went easy on him on this because he knows that he's just a fragile little soy boy, a younger guy and everything like that. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole Andrew Wilson versus Hunter Avallone. Absolutely. Yeah, Andrew Wilson humiliated him. No question about it. I do think he went soft on him, but let me know in the comments what you guys think. Who do you think won this debate between Andrew Wilson and Hunter Avallone?